For centuries, we've been told a very simple story about Giza. Tombs for pharaohs, monuments to the sun. But what if that's not the whole truth? What if the story we can see is just the cover for a much deeper, much older secret, one that was buried on purpose? We're about to look at some data that suggests the official history, well, it's got some serious holes in it.
Right. We all know this view. The Great Pyramid, the Sphinx. They're like icons of human history, solid, unchanging. Or so they tell us. They sit on this massive limestone foundation that has held its secrets for thousands of years. The official narrative is literally carved in stone on the surface. But a completely different story is now starting to emerge from the absolute darkness deep below.
And that right there is the question that changes absolutely everything. You see, if a handful of very controversial researchers are right, the Giza we see is just the tip of a colossal subterranean iceberg. And look, we're not talking about a few hidden tombs or some secret chambers here. We're talking about an entire metropolis under the sand.
So you're probably asking, how could something that massive stay hidden right under our feet for all this time? Well, the answer isn't a shovel or a brush, it's a satellite. The key that unlocked this whole mystery is a piece of tech that, for all intents and purposes, makes solid ground transparent.
It's called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography. Yeah, I know it's a mouthful. But just think of it like a planetary CAT scan. A team of Italian researchers pointed this incredibly powerful eye at Giza. They weren't just looking at the surface, they were listening for tiny, subtle echoes deep inside the bedrock. Echoes that, according to geologists, really shouldn't be there.
So here's how it works, and it's deceptively simple. A satellite pings the ground with radar pulses. Now, those pulses, they don't just stop at the sand, they penetrate deep into the plateau. The echoes that bounce back are then picked up and translated by some seriously powerful software into a 3D map of whatever is hiding below. It's basically archaeology without a trowel, peering through hundreds of meters of solid rock, all from orbit. And the very first thing this technology supposedly found, well, it challenges one of the most sacred monuments at Giza. The claim is as simple as it is shocking. The Great Sphinx was never, ever alone. Okay, now think about this for a second. In ancient Egyptian cosmology, duality was everything. Everything had its counterpart, its mirror image. We find sphinxes in pairs all over Egypt. Yet here, at Giza, the grandest of them all, we're supposed to believe there's only one? Proponents of this theory say that a single sphinx isn't just weird, it's a fundamental violation of a sacred architectural pattern. It just doesn't fit. And those who believe this theory, they point to ancient documents like the pyramid text for clues. This line, from the creator god Adam, "I was with two, now I am with one," they don't see that as poetry. They see it as a literal record, a chronicle of some kind of cataclysm.
And this is where things get really interesting. See, older NASA radar scans did flag a dense, buried structure right where these theorists predicted a second Sphinx would be. But the establishment? Oh, they have a tidy little explanation for that. It's just the remnants of Khafre's Causeway, a boring, mundane feature, not some lost monument. So you've got one set of data and two completely different realities.
But honestly, a second Sphinx is almost a footnote compared to what this Italian team claimed they found next. Their scans didn't just reveal a single object. They started to paint a picture of something vast, incredibly complex, and impossibly deep. 2 kilometers. Let that sink in for a minute. That's the alleged scale of this underground complex. We're not talking about a tomb or a simple network of tunnels. This is an entire subterranean landscape stretching beneath the pyramids on a scale that just defies conventional history. And the details they pulled out of this data are just staggering. The scans supposedly show multiple levels of structures, an intricate web of interconnected tunnels, massive, perfectly cubic chambers, and 8 enormous shafts plunging 1,200 meters straight down into the earth. Let's be clear, this is not the work of tomb builders with copper chisels. This suggests an engineering project that we would struggle with today. This changes everything. What if the pyramids weren't the main event at all? What if they were just the capstones, the giant entrance markers, for a far grander enterprise that's been hidden deep below our feet this whole time? And right here is where modern data slams right into ancient myth. The researchers themselves connect their findings to the fabled Halls of Amenti, a legendary library that was said to house the knowledge of a lost civilization. It's always been a fantasy, a myth,
right up until a radar signal from space gave it a potential zip code. Now, as you can probably imagine, these extraordinary claims were met with a powerful wall of academic skepticism. And this isn't just some friendly debate. It's an all-out battle for the very soul of Egyptology. On one side, you've got the research team, and their message is clear. It's urgent. We have the data. The scans show massive underground structures. Now, we have to investigate. And on the other side, you have the establishment. Dr. Zai Hawass, the famous former gatekeeper of Egyptian antiquities, just dismisses all of it as media fanfare, no debate. For him, the case is already closed. The official response is loud and clear. There's nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Now, the skeptics' case is built on a foundation of scientific rigor. They argue that until someone puts a drill in the ground, these are just pixels on a screen. These so-called structures could just be natural fissures in the rock, or caves, or water tables. Peer reviewers looked at the paper and called for physical validation. The data is interesting, they say, but it's not proof. It's not dirt on a shovel. So that's where we are. We're left in a complete standoff. The data has been released, the battle lines have been drawn, and the truth, whatever it is, remains buried deep under the sands of Giza. And this is really the heart of it all. It's a conflict of methodologies. You have researchers saying their technology lets them see the invisible. And then you have the traditional archaeologists who say that seeing isn't believing. Only physical proof is real proof. It's a clash between the future of exploration and the past, data versus digging. So here's where things stand right now. The Italian team has filed their official report. They formally ask for permission to investigate on the ground, to use radar, maybe even drill one single borehole to prove their case. As of today, that permission has not been granted. The door, officially, remains slammed shut, which leaves us with the final, tantalizing question. Are we looking at actual evidence of a lost chapter of human history? A civilization far more advanced than we can possibly imagine, hidden right beneath the most famous monuments on Earth? Or are these just ghosts in the machine, a glitch, a flaw in the code? The data is out there for everyone to see, but the ground remains sealed. And until someone is finally allowed to dig, Giza's greatest secret remains just that, a secret.